Little intro music.
Okay. When did you pick this out?
Last night.
You getting down with your lady?
Yeah, little Boz Skaggs.
Yeah, you're getting down with your lady, listening to some Boz Skaggs? You're like, baby. You know, John Narum used to freestyle to this guy. I'm hard thinking about John Narum right now.
Did he really?
No. But he freestyled to Scatman.
Welcome to the show. Scatman.
I'm a Scatman. Look at this cool t-shirt that a guy designed. A Better Off Alone t-shirt. That was awesome, man. I'm really glad that you did that. That was way unexpected. I'm being serious right now. That was awesome. Back pocket. Really? Mm-hmm. Damn, you were prepping this week.
Yeah, I'm prepping. I'm always prepping.
Nathan finally got back to me about the contest little shit. Remember that message? Look at this cool Better Off Alone t-shirt that this guy did. Son of a bitch. This Justified Arrogance account, he does like bootleg t-shirts every week. They do like a line of bootleg t-shirts.
Corona one's cool too. Nice.
Isn't that awesome? It says Better Off Alone.
What's the Corona one say? The Rhythm of the Night. The Rhythm of the
Is that what that song is? Is this the rhythm of the night? That sounds exactly like all those new Drake songs that he just released. And everyone was like, these are awful.
No, it's that style of music, house music or whatever.
No, they were great though. Yeah. I love that Drake album.
I thought that was fine.
Welcome to the pod. Last week, I had Umar Gaddafi and a hologram of Bill Clinton on the podcast. This week we have the real man in the box right here. This is a piece of the dress.
The man in the box.
Man in the box.
Clinton. Yoyo that I got from Japan of all places.
Horny man in a little box.
Spins on everything.
Rest in peace, Chris Farley. I'm sorry.
Horny man in a little box.
It's my nickname in high school.
Yeah, this shit's hilarious.
Let's read the...
Made by legal Americans.
Wow. This
just
is
taking shots at...
Yeah, anytime that... I've never really seen like cheeky liberal products like this, but normally I feel like they don't take as many pot shots as the...
I think there's a pot shot at Clinton.
Ones. Well, that's what it is. That's what I'm saying. Because all the inside details are... Like Yoyo, one that up goes frequent abrupt shifts or reversals.
They're saying he yo-yos on every topic. So
stupid. The American Heritage Dictionary. Who quotes anything but Webster's Dictionary? That's already a big Republican red flag there. You're quoting something other than... They probably think Webster is black, and that's why they don't want to... That's why they don't want to quote Webster's Dictionary. Like, we can't have a dictionary of color on the DOC. The following actions have won President Bill Clinton the right to be called a famous yo-yo TM. Famous yo-yo is the trademark. Because I thought that Duncan... No, never mind.
Duncan has that. Oh, Famous Yo-Yo is the company.
Yes, Famous Yo-Yo is the company. Smokes grass without inhaling.
It's
possible to do. I mean, like you can let it dance around in your mouth. That was his famous quote, though. Yeah, he's like, I did not inhale. And it's like... All right, you definitely did, but it's kind of...
Is that even really a yo-yo? He's not yo-yoing on that. He's just saying I didn't smoke.
I think it's one of those things that's like you can't do one without doing the other. You know what I mean?
So like
you're smoking grass, but you can't not inhale. Pays $200 for a lousy haircut in Los Angeles. Claims to be cutting spending.
These are some deep cuts. Like that was probably a weird controversy where he spent $200. It's like.
Like when Obama was riding the bike with the helmet.
Of course he spends a lot of money on a haircut. Like,
makes Hillary highest unofficial official in history. What did she do when he was in the White House other than being first lady?
I'm not sure.
Because later when she was Secretary of Defense, I'm pretty sure that was...
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State, thank you. Sorry. But, Jesus. Discusses his undies on national TV with teenagers. Spins wildly on whitewater.
God.
Raises taxes, acknowledges he has failed in the past to fully pay his own.
Oh God, if only they knew about
Who pays their taxes?
Yeah.
Who
if you're
really
rich,
pays
you
their
don't.
taxes?
So stupid. But
so shout out Clinton on the pod. Cheers.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm gonna eat fucking botulism now because I just touched my beard. It came out in '94 too. That's wild.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the crazy documentary that Republicans made in 1994? I forget who made it. Like Pat Buchanan or one of the crazy, like really super Christian conservative Republicans. Most of them are like that, but one of the guys, it's like really awful.
Yeah.
He literally just like openly claims that Bill Clinton raped like 30 women in this documentary. And he's like,
Probably
the Mina
did.
airport is a drug hub where people ship cocaine in and out of, which they did during the Iran-Contra scandal. But
Yeah, he's not wrong on
and
any
Bill
count,
Clinton
yeah.
was mayor of, or governor of Arkansas at the time. All of these things are true.
And he was raping women. So
And he did pay, what's her name? Nina Broder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
anyway, enough Clinton. Welcome to the Yoyo podcast. This is Radio Yoyo.
You shit the
slash
bed in the
goods.
first 10 minutes.
We're here to talk
They're just
about.
gonna kill us. with
We
the
are talking
algorithm.
about yo-yos. We're talking about Bill Clinton yo-yos.
All they hear in the sound waves is Clinton, though. Clinton. Stem cells, Clinton. I want stem cells in my mouth. Clinton. What's the other one that they eat?
Stem cells? I don't know.
The young people, the liquid inside of young people's bodies.
Oh yeah, what is that?
shit called?
Adrenochrome.
Yeah, adrenochrome. Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah. I need some of that. Yeah. Whoever's got some, whoever's the plug on
New
the
adrenochrome pads. We could call her string adrenochrome.
That would be a sick name. That's a Yo-Yo Jam model. 100%.
Yeah, the adrenochrome.
Yeah. If Yo-Yo Jam didn't go out of business, that would have been the next Johnny DeValier pro model.
Absolutely. Oh my God. There's a lot you could do with that. So Drew Tates wants a light bite Yelp review.
We were all too poor as kids to really be able
I
to
got the
fully
ramen
utilize
there
the light bite.
and I got bags of combos. That's it.
Yeah, that's all I ate there was combos.
Did I tell you the story of I got combos there one year and I opened the bag and there was like a
I
chunk
remember
of
this story.
metal in it, like straight up. So I took a photo somehow. I don't even know if I took a photo because I didn't have a camera phone, but me
You
and
had a
Randy.
point and shoot. You took Yo-Yo videos somehow.
Yeah. So I somehow like got evidence of it. Me and Randy were like, what in the fuck, dude? Like there's a chunk of metal in this bag of combos. Go home after Worlds. This was like 2005 or 6. And I email Combos and I send them the picture. And I'm like, look at this, dude. They sent me a stack of manufacturers coupons, like 25 free bag of combos per coupon. Like you don't have to pay. It's not buy one, get one. It's just a free bag of combos. So I'm using them like a madman out at the shops. And then I take them the next year. I still have some left.
Oh,
I
God.
take them to the Light Bite. Light Bite's just like, yeah, we're not honoring them. No, they're just like, absolutely not.
Even though they're the ones that almost killed
Yeah,
you.
exactly. They're like, absolutely not. We don't accept It's like you have to accept manufacturers coupons, but like they just wouldn't. So I was like, shit,
Everything
out
we
of luck.
resell is labeled not for resale. Okay. We're breaking all kinds of fucking rules around the light bite. All right.
No, they were shady as fuck.
Getting one of those manufacturers coupons is like getting a blank, not blank, but like when you get like
It's
a
nice.
script or something like
It's
from the
nice.
doctor and you just have it and you're like, oh man, what am I going to do with
I'm
this?
going to sound like a cheap bastard, but I got some recently from Grillo's Pickles.
Oh, I saw you
because
commenting on them.
Me and my
Or you-
girlfriend.
yeah.
Me and my girlfriend bought the Grillo salsa. The
I
Pico
bought it
de
too and it
Grillo.
also wasn't good.
It was
like
not
kinda sour
good.
and
We were like, this doesn't taste right. It tasted like water. Ours.
Yeah.
Ours had no vinegar at all. So we're like, there's something wrong here. So I just sent them an Instagram DM, like, pretty disappointed, honestly. Like, I don't know if it's a bad batch. I just wanted to let you guys know. And they're like, we'll send you some. So they sent me 2 manufacturers coupons
That's
for free
awesome.
jar of pickles. And I like,
they're
so
by far
happy.
the best pickles
Yeah.
out right now.
So good.
I love pickles so
Grillos.
much, but
Me too.
I just like they were one of the first like I think they started in like 2015 or so, like starting. I know they like started as a cart
Yeah.
earlier than that or whatever, but like when they first started on Instagram and stuff really heavy and I followed them, I was just like, I didn't even know where to buy them yet. Like you couldn't get them anywhere, especially in Arizona. But I was like, as soon as I can buy these, I'm going to buy them. And they just look so good.
They were hard
And
to find
were-
at first.
They were incredible. Now they're fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm. They're all
It's
over.
crazy.
They have them at Costco, dude. For
Oh
cheap.
yeah, you can get it at Walmart. Like they're not afraid of like, all right, like Walmart will let us have shelf space as long as we're gonna do different packaging that's gonna fit their price point better. Like, cool. It's very inspiring as a brand. Like it's when we started out, like there's so many brands that now are just so massive and like looking back, like when I first started the Recess Instagram being like, oh, cool. Grillo's Pickles has like 1,000 followers. And I have 1,000 followers. That's kind of cool. And then, but very quickly it actually took a couple of years for them to get to a bigger point, but like they've been putting in work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
No, they have.
and, Same thing with like Brain Dead or like other clothing companies. Like when I first started Recess and they had like 2, 3, 5,000 followers, and it's like, oh, this is pretty like small time operation still. Then very quickly, it's just like, oh wow.
My mom's neighbor, she had this neighbor that was this really young couple, really cool people, and she found out I liked Grillo, she was like, she's only a couple years older than us.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah, I went to school with Gary or whatever, the guy who started Grillo
Whoa.
up in Massachusetts where she grew up. And so just like knew this guy, and she's like, he's really chill actually. Like he was a really nice dude.
He's like kind of young, right?
Yeah, he's like not much older than us, so maybe late 30s. And so that's cool too to learn that like it's just a chill ass dude. Who
they would
started
probably be down to do a Yo-Yo. They do all kinds of random.
They would. You
like,
should do a first base bright green Grillo's
or a clear green one, or clear like it looks like a minty clear one that looks like the brine.
That would look so
really cool.
sick, dude.
And then
you could drop it in the jar of pickles in slow motion for a video.
I would drink a whole jar of pickle brine for the video.
You could put one on a stick, like pickle on a stick.
Horrid things.
Yeah.
They would ask me not to be a representative for it anymore. What are some other? Oh, what else? To be honest, I can't think of. I'm sure I got a Hot Pocket at the Light Bite once or twice, but that was like deluxe eating then. It was probably like $6 or $7 for.
It was combos and ramen,
Pocket.
maybe a mac and cheese, like the instant
the
mac and cheese.
Easy Mac. Combos were really like the happy medium where
they were filling, man.
They were filling and they were only a couple bucks. It was like $2, $3 for like the hugest bag, and everything else was just so expensive for no reason. So, because you're in a hotel, you know what I mean? They're trying to make the most of it. When I went on Tony Hawk tour with Yo-Yo Factory, they like knew we would be in hotels. Like they obviously all the hotels we were at, they'd have like a little convenience store down in the lobby. But like every time you'd go down, because they would just see us like smoking and drinking out front until like all hours of the fucking night, and we'd be in like rural fucking Colorado or Montana or wherever random Western state we're in that you can't get food at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, can I get $17 worth of hotel snacks, please? Thank you. Like, thank you, miss.
I do miss it though. It's nice late night. Just get a little snack at the Light Bite. It was a cool spot. Rosen Plaza Hotel was very cozy to me. Just a lot of good memories.
Yeah. Good times. Well, there's some other good Yo-Yo questions.
So what songs would go on the classic Yo-Yo mixtape? Better Off Alone.
I guess Speed, but like that's not really like danceable or listenable. Speed is kind of gnarly.
This is a tough one. This one would need some research.
Yeah, there's not very many.
Top of my head, yeah.
That Jensen one that he used, I guess. The one that he won Worlds with.
Gorillas.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
No one really quotes that as like, it's a legendary freestyle, but not because of the music. It's because like what he did and the precedent he said and blah, blah, blah.
For me personally, that Takeshi, when he got second in 1A, that Sean Paul song.
Dude, I love. What year was that?
Tonight. 2000. It was when it was in
China. 18?
China. No, it's whenever Evan Nagal won.
Okay.
So China. Probably.
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember watching. I blast that song in my Prius. I love that fucking song. Yeah, Bergie should have won Iceland Worlds. That was 17.
No, I agree, but no, I think so. But like, you know, going into 2018, it's like he had the momentum he could have done. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I know Evan was very good or whatever, but definitely Evan's.
There's a lot of those. Like what you recently said about Sebi.
I posted that meme on election day in 2020.
Yeah.
And like it got like maybe 200 likes or whatever. It got so many comments on my story. Yeah, people loved it. I was like, what the fuck?
Because
like,
you tagged the guy too.
No one cared. Oh, Marcus Coe.
Yeah.
I tagged him in the post too. Cause like, I don't want him to think that there's beef or like I'm saying like, oh, you didn't deserve to win.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of people like to Sebi's freestyle better. I don't know. What song did he use for that? Do you remember?
Sebi?
I forget. Yeah, for his Worlds one.
Remember.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I know for Nationals when he won, he used that weird electronic Beach Boys remix.
Damn, that sounds sick.
Yeah. You ever seen that freestyle?
I don't think so. I gotta check out. I missed a lot of the Sebi. I missed that whole year, 2011 or whatever.
I think he won in 2010 or 2011. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. We'll have to think more on the song.
That's like a deep pool question. Like you said, we got to comb through a bunch of music.
This is Drew's last question. This we can do, I think. If you got all the world champs together, who would win in a fight? I find that hilarious. I mean, the obvious choice is Johnny Delvaya because he's big. If we're just talking 1A, let's talk all the divisions.
I don't know. Shion is kind of scrappy looking. He'd probably bite your ear off like Mike Tyson or something. I mean, Daisuke Shimada, his yo-yos were very sharp. He could cut you for sure.
Absolutely.
Cut your fucking dick off.
I can see Buko fucking someone up. Like just with getting someone in a headlock.
Yeah. She like lost a lot of weight, but like she's still like,
yeah.
I'm not saying she's like big. She's like, she's
probably strong.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. She looks like she lifts weights or something.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like she's very strong looking.
Yeah.
Buko could fuck you up.
Jensen's got good reach.
Jensen's tall.
Yeah. He's got long ass arms. He could slap some people. It would be so fun. It's just so funny to me to picture them all fighting.
All fighting together.
If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments because I know we're not thinking of some obvious ones who could fuck people up. But
yeah, who else? Shinji's pretty short. He's like 5'3".
Shinji was running around kicking people in the balls.
Yeah, he could throw a yo-yo really hard at you too.
Yeah.
He's probably one of the only people I feel like that could genuinely fuck someone up with a yo-yo.
Oh yeah.
Who else?
Paul Yacht.
I
feel like he could fuck someone up.
Yeah, on some like hood shit. Not like because Paul is like a fighting
just
intimidating dude.
Slaps,
yeah, he's just like he's not gonna let
nicest
you
dude in the
What'd
world.
You say to me? Fuck.
Yeah. Some shit like that for sure.
God, I forget where we were and what happened, but like something went down like that, and I feel like Paul either like fucked someone up or like threatened to fight someone or like did some shit like that. Like we were in LA sometime, like at one of those LA contests. We were like on Sunset Boulevard or something, like drinking. I was probably like 19 or 20. It's like underage drinking. And like someone like tried to like flip at Paul's hat or something. And he like slapped him underneath the chin or something before they touched his head or something. He like slapped him up. Something crazy. I remember going down and we all had to leave the bar very quickly. Like that's funny you mentioned that because I forget that he's a world champion. I forget that story often too.
Yeah.
And then Bride would like always rent a room for everyone on the Sunset Strip at like a Holiday Inn there or whatever. And literally like 20 people would stay in this hotel room and just sleep all over it and get like absolutely trashed and swim in the hotel pool till like 3 a.m. And Bride would like encourage us to not like fuck it up, but like try to push the staff to the limit or whatever. He like knew the owner or something. So the room was always comped and he's like, yeah, feel free to like do whatever you want in there. And it's like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you like, not like damage things, but just like, you want to smoke or like you want to drink or like make a mess, like do whatever you want. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, this is a little weird. It's like, yeah, I know the guy. Like it was very peculiar, but every year there would be like 20 people in that room. And we would leave and be like, should we like leave some cash or something? Like we should at least tip the maids. Like this is not good.
Damn.
I didn't know that was a thing till I started going to like yo-yo contests as an adult. And then Ben and Pat would always tip the maids and be like, look at this fucking room. Like we can't not tip the maids. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Or they'll, you got to treat them well.
And Ben is like, one of the first contests I ever went to for a Yo-Yo Factory thing, Nationals 2009, Ben had to like leave early. He was going to like China or like overseas somewhere like Russia or something to do like a yo-yo thing. But we're like all sleeping in his room because he like had a room booked late and like it was like already noon or whatever. And then Pat called down to the front desk to get an extended checkout for however late we could get it. And he calls down and we're all super fucking hungover. And he's just like, hi, I'm in room 106 and I just want to, and he got the room like right next to the bar so we could be loud as fuck, like late as hell. And he's like, I'm in room 106 and I just wanted to like get a really late checkout. Like, oh, Mr. McPhee, you're a gold member. Like you can check out whenever you'd want to up to 5 p.m. He just went back to sleep.
That's awesome. That's the dream.
Yeah, it was just awesome.
Fuck at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. checkout.
And then like 3 years later, we were at Worlds. and Miggy and I woke up and we were still drunk the last morning. We were getting ready to fly out. And I was like, Ben, I don't think we're going to make a flight. Like, can we get a new flight? And he's like, you better make your fucking flight. And I was like, oh, all right. Like, drug Miggy to the airport and we barely made our flight. But
damn.
Funny contrast.
How about, speaking of hotels, you remember this better than I do. I feel like 2007 International Yoyo Open in New York. When Kia, what was he doing with the coffee maker?
They bought a bunch of burgers earlier that day because all the food in New York was mad expensive. And like, I think Randy didn't have any money or something, right?
Yeah.
And Guy came and I think Guy only had like $10. At that contest specifically, I remember going and Guy and I had like $60 totals to our names, and we both split a crave case at
nice
White
Castle.
Thank you, yeah, White Castle.
That's a move, yeah.
Yeah, Guy was like, "Oh man, this is such a good idea. We get all this food for so much less money." I was like, "Fucking 16." He's like 22.
No, we had no
like,
money. Me and Randy did the box tour that year, team box tour, and we went from Worlds, and then we had like a week in between. So we hung out in Orlando extra, and then we went to New York a couple days before the contest. So I didn't have my room in the Hilton yet with Antio. So we were going to stay in a hostel, and we get to this hostel and there was like an extra charge, and me and Randy had no money for it. And Box was just so upset with us. Like, I'll pay for you. I'll cover it. And we were just like, dude, what do you want us to do? Like,
we're kids. You guys are literally 15 years old. It was 200007, right?
Yeah,
so we were
16, children.
Yeah.
And he was an adult, and we were just like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. Like, I can't. What are we supposed to? Me and Randy were like, whatever. We'll sleep in the subway. Like, it doesn't matter.
And I've told you this before, but like Matt's parents are abhorrently wealthy. Like they bought him a condo in San Francisco before he ever had a paying adult job. So it's like, I love Matt, but it's just like for him to get upset at you guys and be like, oh, I can't believe
it was like very stressful. And in his defense, though, like he was taking care of two children in New York City.
And he was like 19
and he was
at the time,
responsible for us.
I don't even think he was 20.
So I'm not blaming him so hard because like I would be at wit's end too after 2 weeks with us, just like him taking care of us.
And he was like going to culinary school, and I'm sure you guys like, let's go to Cece's Pizza again. Let's go to Sizzler again.
Exactly.
Like, I only have $100 for the whole week, so I can only eat off $10.
It was fun though, but no,
it's great.
So then we got the Millennium Hilton room, and that's where this happened. It was like a high rise directly across the street from Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We were at, I think we were on like the 30th floor or something.
It was high.
Because I was like very afraid of heights.
That's still to this day the nicest hotel room.
By far the nicest hotel I've ever been in.
Like,
it's called the Millennium Hilton.
The Millennium Hilton. And then I remember I didn't understand how a hotel mini bar works. So I just opened the mini bar, and there's little bottles of booze and there's candy bars. And when you pick them up, there's a sensor and it charges your room. I just took everything. I didn't know that. I just took everything out and started drinking. And then Kia at the end of the trip was like, dude, that was like $250 worth of shit. Because it's like a Snickers bar is like $12, a mini bottle of tequila.
They're taxing the shit out of you for everything, right?
I didn't know though. I truly didn't know. So I was just like, this room comes with fucking free shit.
Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah. He should have told you that, you know what I mean?
But like who knew to be like, don't touch the mini bar. But
when I was on the Birdhouse tour, they showed me their like contract for the tour and shit, and it covers shit like that. It's like if you fuck up the hotel room, it's coming out of your money. Like if you get hair dye on the pillow, it's coming out of your like in verbatim said all these things in the contract. It's like, so these things have happened before, obviously.
Yeah. So anyways, burgers.
Kia was like, he bought all those double cheeseburgers from McDonald's, to feed you guys or feed the crew basically. Because everyone didn't have money there. Everyone was like, they used to have these contests the week after Worlds where they would expect everyone to just like hang out, and everyone that was in
New York City, the most expensive city
or in Florida, also a pretty expensive place, Orlando of all places, or like to travel in between in the week interim. And they used to before Jake and I started yoing, they did Omega Worlds the same way. Omega Worlds would be like the week before the World Yo-Yo contest. Everyone would go to Las Vegas, stay in Las Vegas for 3 or 4 days, and then fly to Orlando on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then World started in Orlando on Wednesday. Still, it'd be cool to do an event like that if it was, you know what I mean? Especially in the summertime when everyone kind of has that time off work, or It's crazy how shit used to be more organized 20 years ago than it is now. It kind of had to be because, you know, a website was expensive
We
to
should
make.
do
And
an East Coast Master or an East Coast Classic or a Mid-Atlantic Regional in Allentown, dude. Because we have the Lehigh Valley International Airport. If people wanted to fly, I mean, we have an airport. I'm just saying.
people could fly into Philly. It's only 45 minutes away.
It's not too far.
I would gladly.
But it is a pretty
track
legit
people up and
airport,
back.
dude. Like, it's not bad. And then shit would be so cheap here. Like, to get a hotel ballroom for a weekend, like, we could run a really cool Anyway, we could talk about it later.
Nah,
but
you're good. You're good. But yeah, Kia was drunk as fuck. He like went out drinking with a bunch of other Yoyo company owners, and he like took all the leftover McDonald's and put it like smashed it into the coffee maker and then put water in it, and then all this boiling hot water came through and produced
he's trying
like
to
a
make
gross,
cheeseburger coffee.
gross murky coffee that Matt drank a little bit of and a couple other people drank box store.
Yeah.
And then he like threw. I don't think he threw the entire coffee pot out 'cause it's glass, but he definitely dumped.
Poured it out the window.
So like the 30-story window. But then he threw the Bible out the window. So like a fucking Bible. And the window doesn't open that far.
It opens like a crack because you're on the 30th floor.
Yeah.
So it's dangerous. And it's like floor to ceiling windows.
And he like tossed it and like wiggled his hand out and then like threw it like a frisbee as hard as he could, the Bible. And then did he throw
into
out?
ground zero, basically.
Yeah, into ground zero. God. And then did he throw out a blanket or a pillow or something too, right?
Yeah, some pillows, I think, from the couch.
Which are hilarious because it's like those are also expensive, but like we didn't have like a bunch of. It was like 10 of us staying in that room or whatever because Jake was a nice guy and was like, "Yes, all my broke friends."
I invited everyone, dude.
Yeah, please stay in my room that my company is like paying
which
for.
no one was happy about either, but it was hilarious. And what was Kia had a shirt on that said something about the Quran, right?
Team Iran.
Team Iran. And this is 2007, so not that long after.
Yeah, pretty shortly after 9/11. Yeah, because Abe had one too.
Oh my God.
Abraham Ziamir. Yeah, he had one and Kia had one, and they both.
Imagine if we would have had camera. We could have filmed that whole.
That would have been so good. That would be TikTok gold now.
Yeah.
But Box has some of that footage, the burger milk footage for sure. But,
yeah. Gotta talk to him about that.
What other questions?
Let's see. What are some of your guys? This is from Banky.fb. What are some of your guys' favorite throws not from your own or each other's companies' catalogs? So no recess, no dunks.
Yeah.
I like the 888 a lot.
888 is great. Freehand, obviously.
Free hands are fucking incredible.
Freehand 0, freehand 1, hyper freehand. What's your favorite out of those freehands?
I mean,
they're all good for different
play wise
reasons,
and just cool wise. It's got to be a freehand one.
Yeah, ditto.
A recessed freehand one.
It just eventually
hyper freehand
breaks,
close second.
So,
yeah. Come on, buddy.
I might put hyper freehand above freehand 1 just for that reason.
I like all
actually gonna last, but
right. Yeah, you're right, and they are cooler looking in a way. I like all of Art's yo-yos, Jensen's company.
they're good. Yeah,
They're all very unique and good. I like Static Co.
Yeah, I forgot.
They're supposed to release a Brian Kosky yo-yo soon.
that's cool.
They make very cool anti-yo inspired yo-yos. They haven't been active recently, but I'd have to look through all my stuff.
Didn't Ed Haponic just get on a new team? Did he get on MK Yo-Yos or whatever? I feel like that was a thing. I don't know. Maybe.
He finally left Corco.
Yeah, Corco hasn't been super active for the last couple of years. G told me Randy's sitting on like a handful of standards. I'm like, damn, I kind of want to buy them from him and dye them.
They're sick. And then I've been on my Japanese yo-yo shit lately. I just got this one, the Hinamosu, which is sick. It's got titanium rings. It's basically a bigger version of the Colony, but I gotta say, like, these are the same yo-yo, just different rings.
That's cool.
Which is pretty cool. But
how heavy is one with titanium rings? I feel like G has that one
it's
too.
Like 68, 67.
G's vibrates.
Most
so
expensive yo-yo I've ever bought. But then this one, I still like this one more. This one is really fucking sick, the Colony. So Turning Point makes cool yo-yos. The Gopa by Yo-Yo Recreation.
Gopa's good.
Gopa's really fun.
That Freshly Dirty.
A Mod 44.
Mod 44. Did you like the beers? Did you have some beers?
No, this is barreled, my cat.
You were trying to bite me earlier. You're probably still gonna try to bite me.
Yeah, he's getting mad.
Yeah, he's getting mad. I'm sorry.
Look at the camera. Or come sit on me, one or the other. You can sit there for a little bit, but
Go sit on Papa.
we're doing a show.
Go sit on Papa. He's looking at me like, this would be daddy a nice cuddle time normally.
It would be. All right, you gonna chill there?
It's okay. Go ahead. My phone's there. I have a lot of offensive notes I need to reference in a few minutes. So, yeah, Mod 44 is good.
There's a lot of good yo-yos out right now.
There's too many. We don't know enough.
Yeah.
Next question.
Any yo-yo injury stories from D-Money Swag 2?
D-Money Swag.
I like that name.
I broke my toe when I was a kid playing with the dark magic. I was like playing with my shoes off.
Really?
And then threw my yo-yo and it hit my toe. Yeah.
1A?
Yeah, 1A.
Not even off string?
Nope. And then I threw a Yo-Yo Factory California, which was like a hub stacked 401k.
Yeah.
So it was like 70 grams and I hit myself and it broke my glasses that I had at the time. It was like wireframe glasses. So they were like very easy to bend, but like,
damn.
Yeah, I broke them. And that was like the only time I've ever gotten knocked out doing anything. And like,
that's insane.
Yeah, I woke up like, I don't know how much later it was, but like just had like blood on my face. It was like really scary. And I was like, oh God.
Yeah, I've like split my lip, hit my nose pretty hard. Lip. I've hit myself in the head a handful of times from like a bad bind, but
the scar on this side is from the yo-yo.
Oh shit.
The Yo-Yo Factory Tactic.
Damn. So they're
sharp organic yo-yo.
I remember that. Oh, it was kind of cool.
It was a great yo-yo, but I played with the small bearing version.
Dumas Brad says next iteration of the dunk. That will be a titanium dunk. You're hearing it here first.
Dunk.
Tie Dunk. If you have a better name. Someone said Dunk. I don't know.
What?
Someone said Dunk.
That's stupid. Don't call it that. All right. What about the never mind.
The stink, the tank.
Stink team.
It's probably just going to be called the Tie Dunk. But yeah. Anyway, that's what's coming very soon, I hope. Let's see. Now we got Jesse Garcia, legend of the game, asked a bunch of questions. Some of these we've already covered. Do you have a title that's probably Worlds, right? Is the most special title to you?
Yeah, but like I also really liked that 1 year at NER where I beat Dana for the first time. That was nice just because that's like...
Was that pre-Worlds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was 2007, yeah. And then I think I got second 1A, 2 or something. Like nice. No, maybe it wasn't that year. Or maybe it was. Anyway, it's just like in yo-yoing, when you start to get bigger podium finishes like that, all the judges notices. And then the next time you go, it's just like, no matter how much you fuck up, you're just going to do that much better. I don't know. The nepotism is so crazy, but
it's true.
So that was like nice. Like I definitely noticed people treating me different after that. And then when I won 1A at NER, probably the following year in 2008, that one was good. But then, yeah, Worlds too.
Nice.
It's another good Jesse question.
How'd you get the name T-Stacks? With the dollar sign.
Yeah. He just calls me that. There's no reason for that. Just my nickname from Jacito.
Jacito.
That's our nickname for him in the No essay. But my real nickname is T Dabs, which all the youngins in the yo-yo community gave me. After seeing the copious amounts of THC that I consume.
Sped dabs a lot. Behind the scenes at the podcast, it's just dab after dab.
That's why Barrel is laying on a table right now.
Yeah, Barrel's out of it. How did you go from competing to running a legit, successful company?
There's no money in competing. I don't know. I mean, if I competed in 1A maybe, but people that like to reference that or say like, oh, competitors do a really good job selling yo-yos, or you have to have a successful competitor on your team. Like Xi'an's yo-yo does not sell very well. You know what I mean? In Japan, it might sell okay, but here it does not. And like, you know, in Japan, I'm sure it sells decent because he's from there, but like, you know, that doesn't automatically make your yo-yo sellable. It just means that you have a cool title associated with your yo-yo. Like, unless you're purposefully underproducing or you're creating a novelty associated with your yo-yo, or there's like ways that you can juke making your yo-yo sell out, but like all the brands that kind of fake the funk and they're like, it's impossible for us to make more yo-yos. It's as simple as adding a numeral onto the spreadsheet and saying, I want to order for 500 instead of 150.
And it ends up being cheap. You spend a little more money, but
ultimately you spend way less.
Exponentially cheaper. Like,
especially when you're working on a margin standpoint and the price goes from like, say, $10 to $12 yo-yo to like $6 yo-yo or $7.
It literally will cut in half from like 100 to 200. It's like, just get 200. Like,
so I'm not going to name any names, but everyone knows who we're talking about.
And I know not everyone's lucky enough to be able to sell that many, but and you don't know until you try.
And it's cool for the companies that want to maintain that exclusivity and only sell to the people that are going to for sure purchase their yo-yos.
Sure.
But it's so whack when you like perpetuate that to the public where they're like, oh, I wish I could get XYZ company's yo-yos so bad. And then the company owner comes online and is like, if only we could make more yo-yos. It's just, this is the max capacity that I could operate at. And it's like, you're
kind
a
of
liar.
Yeah, exactly. Any good Sean Thackeray asks best food restaurant experiences from yo-yo contests through the years. Do you have any that stick out? For me, that barbecue place in Virginia.
That place is great.
It's good. It's good barbecue and it's always a good time. Like it fits everyone really well. It's a huge restaurant.
I asked Charles G to give me the information for whoever runs Virginia States at the Children's Museum. So I can run it this next year because he doesn't want to run it anymore. So I'll help run it in January. So it can be like the first
if you need help,
year.
let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I love that contest so much.
But Charles took me to a barbecue place that, believe it or not, is even better than Buzz and Ned's.
I believe it.
I know, just because it's on.
Buzz and Ned's is a little touristy, but it's still really good.
It's good. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing. But like you said, it fits everyone. It's right in everyone's price point. Like they have that amazing cheap ass beer, so people can all get like $4 or $5 beers, and no one's tripping over paying $9 for a beer or whatever.
Exactly.
You good?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm just adjusting. I don't know. I'm struggling to think of.
I'm trying to think of some other ones. There's were you at the Virginia States where Ebes made Jesse sing Smoke a Backwood with him?
No.
And he got so high that he like couldn't talk. And then he walked into Buzz. It was at Buzz and Ned's, the barbecue restaurant he's talking about in Virginia. And when he walked in, he like just sat down at a table full of yo-yo parents. Oh, nice little ASMR there, bud. He sat down at a table full of parents and they're like, oh, are you okay? And he was just sitting there like, and they're like, Jesse, bud, hey, are you okay? No. Are you all right? And they're like, what's the matter with him? And Luke and I had run a yo-yo tour at a local toy store leading up to this. Like I did a week of yo-yo shows at schools and invited all the kids out to the contest in the toy store, sold a bunch of first base, blah, blah, blah. We went after the contest and did another appearance at the toy store just because Sundays are always popular days at toy stores. And while we're there, I get a phone call from Ryan, the guy who owns TT Games. And he's just saying, so Jesse's here and he's unresponsive. Or not Ryan. Ryan didn't call that. Who was it? Like John or Colin. Maybe it was Colin, I think. Because like, and he was literally being unresponsive. But that could also mean that he's like passed out on the floor. He fucking overdosed on.
Right.
Who knows? You know what I mean? And we're just like, what does that mean? And then Ryan rips the phone out of whoever's hand. Is like, hey, he's fine. He just smoked way too much weed and literally cannot talk right now. We're like, okay, like put him in a corner and they're like, yeah, we're doing that now. But whoever got him that high just kind of like let him run around the room and scare a bunch of people. And now there's a bunch of children and parents wondering why Jesse can't talk.
Oh my God.
And Eves was also there high as a kite and like, which no one says a word when all of us are there all like shot or bloodshot eyes and like ordering way more barbecue than we should have the right to order. And like, no one says a word because we're all adults and everything's fine. And Jesse was like 19 or whatever, but it's like, you know, it's the equivalent when someone comes out to the bar for their 21st birthday and everyone gets them way too drunk. And it's like, okay, now we have to watch after that guy and make sure he gets home. Okay.
Hilarious.
So yeah, that happened one time. And then we literally just put Jesse in someone's car and he fell asleep and he was fine.
Exactly. Yeah. You can overdose on weed. So.
Yeah. Another time right after Obama got elected, I was at PNWR and we went to this super nice seafood restaurant it's funny because when you go to PNWR, the official hotel normally is this Holiday Inn in downtown Seattle, which used to be really, really seedy. It's gotten much nicer, but like it used to be really seedy. And there's like a really nice like oceanfront restaurant there. And like it was like a cash prize for whatever. I was like 17 and perpetually did not have money at that time, but like, no, I was 17 because I turned 18 that summer. But like I had money at that. I think I had a job. I worked at Mitchell's, so that's why I had money. But like we went to this really nice restaurant and I ordered a blackened chicken sandwich. But our waiter was like a super hot, like 20-year-old girl. And I was like really feeling myself because I just won PNWR. Yes, I just got on Yoyo Factory and I ordered it as a president chicken sandwich.
President?
Yeah. Can I get the presidential chicken sandwich?
That's funny.
But she knew what I meant though. She didn't even ask me for clarification. She just wrote it down on her pad and walked away. Everyone thought it was the funniest fucking thing. God, I'm trying to think what other good restaurants.
I really like Jake's in Cleveland across the corner. It's like a corner store. That has like corned beef sandwiches and shit.
Yeah,
I ate the shit out of those. You gotta go, dude. The one funny story from there was it was 2016 Worlds, right before the election where Trump won.
Yeah.
And there's always a cop in there at night, just like standing guard. Because it's a corner store in Cleveland. It gets rowdy sometimes. And this cop is just going off while we're waiting for our sandwiches. Like, Trump's gonna win. He better fucking win. We're all supporting him. All cops love Trump. And this is like pre-Trump. So it was like, really, dude? You really think like everyone was this? It was just a weird, like foreboding feeling of like, people really are into this guy.
That was a shaky summer, shaky year. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just like, wait, this cop is just like, seems like for a cop, a relatively reasonable person, and he's in love with Trump. Like, what is going on here? It felt like we were just laughing at him. Yeah. But, little did we know what would happen. But I don't know. It was kind of interesting.
I'm sure at that same place, that was like the place that was also a convenience store we'd all go to, right?
Yeah, it was just the convenience store.
Yeah, it had to have been, if not that same cop, a different cop. But like the one night when we always go in there reeking like a pound, he's like, do all you guys just fucking yo-yo and smoke weed all day? And it's like, we're at the World Yo-Yo Contest, you motherfucker. Like, yes, this is my job right now.
Hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd have to think, but it's always fun going out for food at the Yo-Yo Contest.
Yeah, I got to think of more. I dug deep for that presidential chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's
Chuck always has a really good pho restaurant that he likes to take everyone to. That's incredible.
I love pho.
I loved Corco doing that when there were
food tours.
Yeah, like because that's such a huge part of Yo-Yo Contest that I feel
huge for
like
me. I live for that shit. The place in Richmond too, where they always have the pre-party. That's a pretty good
Mongolian restaurant.
Yeah, whatever it is.
I never go there.
Answer Brewery too, which is like a really.
Oh, is it?
If you're into beer, yeah, it's like a really fancy brewery.
Huh. What's the food like there? Is it like fusion food or?
It's like fusion, whatever they are. I think he's Vietnamese, so it might be Vietnamese fusion.
Get some fucking Reuben egg rolls.
Yeah.
Fucking Bami flatbread pizza.
I think this is the last question from Ben Alexander on Instagram. How can we reignite 5A or the X Division in general in the United States? And we were talking about this a little bit. Why did the 5A division really shit the bed? And we were thinking maybe it had something to do with Yoyo Factory and Duncan's beef over 5A May.
Yeah. First and foremost, let's shout out, what's that account? 5A. Not
yes,
5A forever,
this will be a feature of the week. Yeah. 5A _4 _4 ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good account, like doing good shout outs from back in the day. Yeah, I mean, I think originally when Yoyo Factory took the approach it did to acting the way it did to getting a cease and desist from Duncan, they didn't intend for it to go the way it did, but it just ended up working out that way. And then Miguel and I ended up compensating for. So basically, for those who weren't yo-yoing in 2010, in 2009 at Worlds, Yoyo Factory made a it was a counterweight basically, but they called it a spin top button. They also made like spin tops that year, and like at the end of a spin top string, you basically need like a counterweight or something so the spin top string doesn't fall out of your hand as you go to throw it. But they could be repurposed as a counterweight as well. But they were sold and marketed as spin top buttons. But even like the photographs, they were taken like around yo-yos. So it was very suggestive. It was teetering on the line of infringing on intellectual property. So Dunkin' the following year sent them a cease and desist. And it happened, I think it was right after 5A May. I forget exactly the timing, but that year too, Yo-Yo Factory did a huge promotion. It must have been right after then, between 5A May and Worlds, because for the month of May, Yo-Yo Factory did this huge promotion where every day Miguel and I did a tutorial, and then we we didn't even give everyone a discount code or anything, but like the tutorials did really, really well. Like BAC was at the end of the month. So at the end of the month at BAC, it was me versus Sterling versus John Rob versus Miguel. So it was kind of like a head-on match versus everyone.
Factory. They released a Dynasty, which looked like a free hand.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The fucking caps.
Yeah. That was another
Brown signature model. How much did Steve have to do with that? Did he push all this shit?
No.
Because Steve was working for Yo-Yo Factory at the time too.
Yeah. I'm not going to give the sauce of how Yo-Yo Factory's internal design process works, but no, Steve had nothing to do with any of that. And but it's a check. Every year Ben tried to do so, and it would always be a pun off 5A. The year before that was the role model. Or no, maybe it was the year after the Champion Collection, actually. It was the role model.
Yep, role model, Dynasty.
Right.
Yeah.
The Dynasty was 2009 Worlds. Yeah, right. And it was a good yo-yo, but it just came out amongst a bunch of other fucking random yo-yos that I don't know.
Either way, they were poking the bear for sure.
Right. Yeah. Great suggestive wording. Yeah. Poking the bear. And so during 5A May, we actually used the spin top buttons in the 5A tutorials. So it's definitely poking the bear at that point. Red,
red counterweights.
And I heard through the grapevine that year at Worlds 2009, Jack specifically brought it to the attention of every year Dunkin' would have one or two administrative people from Flambeau, the plastics conglomerate that owns Dunkin'. So Flambeau, the company that owns Dunkin', is a company that specializes in making plastics products. And Flambeau also owns this company called Art Deco, which makes these art organization boxes. So if you're an artist, you can organize your fucking oil crayons or paintbrushes, whatever you could want to organize.
Flambeau makes tackle boxes.
They make that's what they're repurposed as, right? So tackle boxes, the tackle boxes get repurposed as the Art Deco boxes. And then also got repurposed as the hard box yo-yo cases. Do you remember those?
Yep.
So they make a bunch of random shit out of plastic, but they also happen to make yo-yos. And so once Yo-Yo Factory was purposefully infringing on all this, they brought it to the attention of the people at Flambeau. Then Flambeau went to their law firm that they retain to, they make a lot of products. They want to make sure they're not also infringing on someone else's intellectual property. Or if they happen to make something that's really original and cool, like the freehand yo-yo, they can instantly patent it or whatever, or apply for the paperwork to patent it, or whatever the case may be. Every big company normally retains a law firm. So, or if someone decides to sue them, whatever the case may be. So they send Yo-Yo Factory a cease and desist that, when they send these cease and desists, it's very open-ended. It's never just don't not do this one thing that you're doing and we'll chill out. It's they try to cover all their bases. You know what I mean? So basically the cease and desist said something along the lines of, and I'm summarizing here, but it said any promotion or marketing material that could be deemed profitable to Yo-Yo Factory, aka Rapid Plastics Incorporated, which is the LLC, Yo-Yo Factory is the doing business as name. Any marketing or promotion of 5A that could be considered profitable for Yo-Yo Factory or DBA, blah, 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 could be rights grounds for a lawsuit, or they basically just say anything. And that, basically if you repost a 5A video at that point, you could be marketing 5A. But Yo-Yo Factory really took it to the extreme and didn't repost any 5A videos. So any people that were on the team playing 5A, which included me and Miguel, who were world and national champions, and then Dana Bennett, who was also a world champion. It's not like he was yo-yoing at the time, but there was a lot of 5A players at the time. They were the premier 5A team. And then the year before, 2009, every year at Worlds, they kind of switch around the divisions. So like the final night, they only have 2 divisions, and the first night they'll have 3 divisions because inherently some of the divisions will be less populous than the other ones. Like 1A would always have 20, 25 people. 2A would maybe have 10 people in it. You know what I mean? So they moved 5A to Saturday night, meaning it was like a marquee event, like a headline event. Like, it was like, it was 5A and then 1A. And it was like fucking crazy. They would announce the 5A winners and the 1A winners. It just put it on a whole nother pedestal of like coolness. You know what I mean? And then,
that was the peak. Yeah, it was
right.
huge.
And then 2010 was really a crazy year for 5A. And then once that happened, it like kind of all went downhill. And even after we did studio sessions, like that helped Miguel and I as personalities. Like, Yoyo Factory started making tons of Genesis and tons of Supernovas and just selling a lot of them because of the videos we were making, because nobody was putting out regular content like that at the time. We were putting out weekly HD definition videos, which was unheard of at the time. So that really helped us, but it also, you know, it wasn't good. It kind of, I don't want to say it killed 5A, because Miguel and I definitely, we kept trying and like we always competed, but like it definitely lost the facade and the like the excitement. And like I think like the next year they bumped it back to Friday night. Like not that mattered at Worlds, you know what I mean, what night, but it was just a big symbolic thing. Like, it's right there with 1A, like it's a main division. Or
it was
whatever.
huge. Everyone who was around but then remembers how big 5A was at that time.
And like there was a lot of 5A. I mean, the fact that like Sterling, Miguel, John, Rob, and I at that time, and like if you were still around, you would have been right there with us. It would have been a 5-way, you know what I mean, head-to-head battle. And like that's another crazy thing to think of. Like if you were around at that time, you would have been like right there with us and like doing the same thing that we were doing, and like it would have been another layer to it.
I missed out. It was fun to watch.
It's not like literally that last BAC was kind of like the I don't want to say the last hurrah, but like that was the last time that we really could go all out on 5A. After that, it was just kind of like whatever.
I would have been on Word.
Yeah.
They didn't have.
We would have put you on Yoyo Factory. We would have put you on the team.
Yeah, probably.
Everyone got on Yoyo Factory at that time.
You
put out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
How can we bring it back then? That's the hard part. It just has. I don't think there's anything. All you can do is play 5A and promote it.
Everyone who's playing right now is doing an excellent job. I mean, every couple of years there will be someone who tries to put on a new crown. Like Juan Renteria a few years ago was posting tons of tricks. Like, I don't know what happened. Does he still post a ton and it just got nixed out of my feed?
So I don't know.
Never mind. Maybe he blocked me too, and that's why I can't see. But
it's a shame. But
yeah, dude.
I don't know what I did. I just called him out on his counterweight that he kind of stole from Owen, and then he never released it. So
How dare
he
you.
understood his wrongdoing.
Right.
He can't expect not to get called out, but like I never attacked him personally. I have no problem with him. I've never met the kid. Like,
people who do things in public and then they get called out for it, even if it's right or wrong.
And I wasn't the only one to call him out. Like a ton of people, everyone was.
I forget the rule Charlemagne the God likes to talk about. It's like a rule of thirds or whatever, where it's like 3 people are going to like it, 3 people are going to hate it, and 3 people are going to be indifferent or whatever. I forget the exact ratio, but it's like.
I think his counterweight company is cool. It's like, I have no problem with the guy.
Yeah, it is pretty whack to steal someone else's
But
design.
to steal someone, don't do that. He has plenty of original designs that are really sick. Like,
especially when there's been zero innovation. Like in the last 5 to 8 years has been all the counterweight innovation in the history of freehand.
It's insane, and there's still more to be done.
Right, so it's like it's not hard to do an original idea, especially it's just a shape, and it's not like. It's super ergonomic and it's like, it's like a perfect shape for the outside of your hand. Like I don't know what it was. Like I'm sure
he had a unique idea.
Yeah, it's cool.
Owens, where you could wrap the string. It looks like a spin top.
I remember this.
So you could wrap it to adjust string length on the fly really quick. And he straight up came out with the same spin top shape. And it's like,
that's so wild.
And it like took the wind out of Owen's sails a bit. And like he never ended up releasing it.
Which is wild because like Juan is just some random kid.
Yeah,
like
but he's
Juan's
got
great.
A successful counterweight company. I mean, it seems successful.
But Owen is like going to school on like a full ride for a physics degree, right?
Right.
So it's like, who is really winning the race here? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just funny for you to be like, it took the wind out of his sail. I genuinely feel bad for Owen.
I don't know that for sure. Or that was
No,
maybe
because
me
I feel
speaking.
like no.
But all I know is he never released it.
Right.
And there was a lot of drama.
I caught a
surrounding
similar
it, so-
vibe, yeah. And at the same time, like right around that time, it was like right when his pro model was coming out, into it right after it came out. So it was like all kind of going hand in hand. Then he like didn't promote his
one of
pro
my
model
favorite
or
yo-yos
whatever.
too.
I
It's
don't
the Duncan Tourney.
Yeah, and they like sampled. I always loved to rag on Brian for not sampling the Duncan archive more. And it's like the tourney did that with the artwork and the colorways with the stripe and the artwork.
Huge
and,
inspiration to make
fucking great
my own yo-yo.
yeah.
Was the tourney and the cubit. I was like, these
and
people are making cool yo-yos. I gotta make one.
Yeah, he, I wish that it didn't take the wind out of his sails so much, and he was, felt confident promoting.
Again, I don't know if that's the case or not.
Even if we're putting words in his mouth,
guessing.
like it's.
But I would love to see that counterweight come out. It was called the Super Toy. He had like a cool little idea for the brand.
I remember all the sketches he had
Super
too.
Toy counterweight. He was going to make them out of wood and plastic.
A bunch
and they
of
were
cool
going to be
fucking ideas for logo sketches. I remember him coming out. I was like,
Really
dude, these are very solid. Like, if you need any help with anything, let me know.
Super Toy counterweight. We'll hopefully he'll bring it back. I know he's busy with school, but
right, he should still do it though, especially with 3D printing or whatever. He could probably just let it go.
I have
class
one. I'll show you then the 3D printed one
yeah.
he sent me. It's really nice. So yeah, as far as bringing back 5A, just do 5A, learn it, teach it, and
yeah, I don't really.
I'm gonna do
what's gonna be a good.
I'm gonna try to do a nice tutorial soon for some 5A tricks.
Like that 2010 culmination was really like 2005 of Jake and I and John Robb all getting into 5A.
It all started there, yeah.
Cutting our teeth.
I was
and
in the
learning.
beginning, and then I dropped out, but
and then Jake like winning Maryland States in 2006, and that being a catalyst to motivate John Robb and I to get better, and all of us
placing at
AJ too, right?
Top 5
yeah.
at Worlds, then me placing at Worlds.
It was really like a 4 or 5 year long campaign that went along together that eventually
and it all culminated with Yo-Yo Factory.
Right, yeah. That took the wind out of my sail when that whole Duncan thing happened. Like my like really good friends at the time, which happened to be like Ben's wife's best friends, like coworkers of hers who happened to be younger, like around my age. And I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like my yo-yo career is over. And they were just like, they were very sympathetic or empathetic with me, but they were just also like, really, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't really understand what you're flipping out about. Like, it sucks, but like, also, it's not like they can't promote you at all. It's just they can't promote you doing this one thing. So you can yo-yo doing something else, right? Just do something else. Like, so like
moving on from the yo-yo stuff. How about Jerry Seinfeld dressing stupid for that? Whatever that brand is.
AMD ad. I don't know how to say it. Aime Leon Dore or something like that.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just thought he looked like a moron.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird. And it's also funny that in today's very thirsty for any way to cancel people, Jerry Seinfeld, he's a horrible actor. The show Seinfeld is based off of Larry David's life and just loosely based off some of Jerry Seinfeld's comedy. But like Jerry Seinfeld openly dated a 17-year-old girl when he was like 35 or 36. And like no one, but even in the 90s, people thought that was like weird and off color and kind of creepy. But like I've only seen a handful of comments about it.
At the height of his popularity. Too.
Right. That was the other crazy part. Yeah. Like 96 Seinfeld when they're like making $1 million an episode. He's like, this is probably a good time to dick down a high schooler.
It's a pretty good impression. This man's practically a billionaire.
Oh, yeah. Every year I read somewhere from Seinfeld, what's the word for it? When the TV show goes into like circulation.
Oh, like syndication.
Yes, thank you. Syndication. Every year, because him and Larry David are like the main writers on the show and main actor. Yeah, he makes like $60 to $100 million a year off Seinfeld. That's so crazy. It's like $200,000 a day or something. Just like you wake up and you're making thousands of to do nothing.
Does he deserve it? I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure he does. Everyone loves that show.
He works hard.
Never really watched it, to be honest, which I know is blasphemy.
You never watched Seinfeld?
I have tried many times. I didn't watch it growing up.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
Well, when you're growing up, there's a lot that you don't understand in the show. You know what I mean?
just didn't watch it growing up. So like I tried it as an adult several times, and I just don't like laugh tracks. I'd just rather watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's a better show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a far better show. And it's like
the same style of humor, just done way better.
It's literally the same show.
It's the same fucking show.
If you haven't tried to watch Seinfeld
like,
again,
oh my God, what a quirky situation we're in. Except in Seinfeld, it's so dated. And I know if I would have watched it growing up, like I would have that nostalgia, and I would be like, this show's so funny, it makes me feel good. But I don't have that.
It's
so
like dated, but it's also, it tries to loosely follow just the same kind of like Friends, Sex and the City template where like all the characters cover a random basis of a friend that everyone can loosely relate to.
I get it. I get the genius of it and all that. It's not for me.
No, I feel you.
The laugh track bugs me, and it's just like
that would be hard to get over if I was, you know, if
starting
I didn't
fresh.
like laugh tracks.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
but there's just so many. My grandparents are watching it the other day, and I like just had to sit down and finish the episode with them. And,
absolutely, I get it. I would put it on, watch it. It's just like I'm not gonna watch the whole. I don't know.
I forgot about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to touch you like that. But it was an episode. Fucking touch me. It was an episode where George, he's working at the Yankees, and he got promoted, and he has his own office, and he gets a contractor to come in, the same contractor that's doing Jerry's cabinets. Jerry's getting new cabinets in his apartment, and George is like, oh, I want to get some work done in my office too. And he comes into his office and builds like a little cot underneath of his desk so he can sleep at work. But he also has an alarm clock in there, and obviously no one can see. They just assume like it's something in his desk. So George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, comes in and hears like a ticking in George's chest. And he's like, oh God, there's a bomb in there. And George Steinbrenner is played by Larry David on the Seinfeld show.
Yeah.
And like, you kind of know, like you can tell he's like doing an impression of a older Jewish guy from New York, even though Larry David is an older Jewish guy from New York now. But they get the bomb squad team in from the NYPD. They open up the drawer to his desk, and there's like a copy of a Playboy or whatever, and he has a yo-yo in this desk too.
No shit.
I know.
Like an
I forgot
Imperial,
all about
probably?
that. Yes, it's like a yellow Imperial.
Yeah.
It's like flipped over. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I believe it. Yeah, a little reference there.
Yeah. There's another great episode where Jerry's like playing yo-yo in the operating room. I think it's the Junior Mints episode.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen that episode.
I
Like
think
him,
so.
him
Yeah.
and Kramer like fighting over a piece of Junior Mint candy, and it flies over into someone who's getting an open operation in front of everyone.
All right. Yeah, I gotta try this show. That's funny.
It's yeah, like you said, it's just like students is like, that's so mundane. Who would ever get into that situation? But
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So, yeah.
It's so good. All right, I'm a fan.
Yeah. But Curb is obviously way better.
It's so much better.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I
I haven't watched the newest season, the very, very new one.
all of it is so good. I haven't watched a lot of the latest one either, but a couple the last like 4 or 5 seasons, you never think the next one is going to be better than the last one, but somehow it's like there's not a bad episode of Curb. Every episode there's like not a wasted joke. There's not like a just do this for effect or whatever. Like it's like a lot. Everything, even if it doesn't have a place in the storyline, it's just genuinely funny. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There's an episode where Larry starts dating this girl and she has a little son, and he's like speaking really effeminately and like with a lisp and shit. And Larry's like, oh, I think he's a little gay, don't you think? And she's like, why would you ever say that about a kid? And blah, blah, blah. And then Larry goes over her house and he like turns on the History Channel and he's watching about World War II, and all these Nazis are on there wearing like really spiffy Hugo Boss suits. And the kid comes in, he's like, ooh, these soldiers are really handsome and cool. Like, what are they wearing? They're just so cool at 1, 2.
Yeah.
3. And
I remember.
Oh
that
yeah,
one.
okay. So yeah. And then he's like, oh, I want a swastika t-shirt. Do you think you could get me one made like downtown? Larry's like, I don't know if the Jews will like that very much. And he's like, get a life, Jew.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's fucking incredible. It's an amazing show. But yeah, I've seen so many memes with it's ALD for short, the clothing brand, but ALD, Jerry Seinfeld campaign. They always hire famous New Yorkers to model the clothing for the brand. Or no, it's Kith. Kith did it, right?
Kith,
Yes, Kith, which is worse. So both those brands are kind of like fighting for the same kind of consumer. And that's what ALD normally does. This other brand I'm talking about is they normally hire famous New Yorkers to model their shit. Kith will occasionally do it, but not near like ALD. It's like their aesthetic, like they are a New York brand. Kith like has stores all over the place and like probably will continue to open internationally and shit. Like ALD, it's like they're the lifestyle of New York brand. Like it's a lot of
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm gonna look them up.
It's a cool brand. But yeah, it's interesting that no one's really brought that up, that he dated a super young girl. And then Larry David is like a style icon. And
Yeah.
like he's also from New York. So it's like, why wouldn't you get a guy who like genuinely people look up to for their style. Like Jeremy would occasionally wear a cool pair of Nikes on the show, which like people always reference, like, look at him wearing this cool pair of Jordans. But they never like look at his outfits and it's like, oh, this is like a style god guy, whatever. But like Larry David, for years, people have like referenced him as like a normcore guy who made that like genre of dress a very popular thing just because of the way he dressed. It's AIMLE.
AIMLE.
It's probably the first thing.
Aime Leon Dore.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check them out. But what was the other one? Kith?
Kith, yeah. KITH. Sounds like a
I just want to look at Larry
trying to
David
say
again.
Kith.
Yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld, not Larry David.
Should have been Larry David, dude. Holy shit.
His face is so smug.
Yeah. He's
like, look at that face.
Yeah. He's as bad of an actor, or bad of a model as he is as an actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's horrible
absolutely.
at both.
It's just so awkward. He's
like,
wearing
what do the
these.
kids do? They point their lips. I'll just point my lips this way. And I'll point them that way.
It just looks so out of place. It's a 50-some-year-old man.
And he wouldn't wear any of this shit. Like maybe 2 of these outfits he would wear. And like all those shoes and shit, it's stuff he would have wore at the height of Seinfeld. But like you said, not as a 50-year-old man. And he's very obviously a 50-year-old man.
He looks absurd to me. I don't know. I saw people sharing it as if it was like really cool. And I don't know anything.
Well, that's why they did it, is because they knew people were going to share it like crazy. Does it have a million likes? No, 280,000. That's surprising.
Yeah, it's not for fucking Jerry Seinfeld. That's not that much.
Yeah.
It's wild. Fucking weird, dude. Anyway, I just wanted to shit on him a little bit. Being a weirdo. He's a stand-up comedian. We saw some good stand-up this weekend.
Oh, yeah. You and I did. Yeah,
Tyler and I went to the same show at different times in Philly.
Both
at
took
Helium.
Ladies.
Yeah, we took our ladies.
A horrendly offensive comedy show where they made fun of Indian people and Asian people. I took a Chinese girl to see a comedian that openly makes fun of Chinese people.
Sometimes, yeah.
In good jest. It's not. She thinks it's funny too. It's
yeah.
Like, you know.
It was a good time. I had a great night.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Have you seen much other stand-up?
Mm-mm.
I've seen a lot of stand-up.
Yeah, let me hear your list.
I'll list 3 and you can tell me which one isn't real.
What the fuck? Is this real?
Yeah.
What?
I'll list 3 names and you can tell me which one you don't think I've seen.
Okay.
Mitch Hedberg.
Sorry. Okay. I don't think
Lewis Black.
Didn't he die a while ago?
He did. He died in 2000. When did he die? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think
Mitch Hedberg, Lewis Black, and Mark Maron.
I'm gonna go with Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg died in 2005. I saw Mitch Hedberg in I saw all 3 of those.
Wow.
I saw Mitch Hedberg in Pittsburgh opening for Dave Attell and Lewis Black on the Comedy Central Insomniac tour.
That's wild.
My mom took me. It was 2005. It was the year he died.
Holy shit.
I have the ticket stub. I can show you.
Was he like pretty lucid?
Well, he was excellent. He was probably on something, but he did this funniest thing that I'll never forget. I was 12, so I don't remember much, but I remember him. It was a big theater in Pittsburgh. And so it was a spotlight on him, and like each side of the stage, it was a big stage, had like a little cubby hole on the side, like a cubby hole. And at one point he's just like, I'm going to walk over here. And he if anyone's not familiar with Mitch Hedberg, just look at it. It's legendary, but very deadpan. And he's just like, I'm going to walk over here. He walks over and he gets inside the cubby hole, and the spotlight's trying to follow him, but it can't see him. So he's just talking from the cubby hole for like 10 minutes, just telling jokes. And then he sticks his leg out and he sticks his foot out, and the spotlight's just on his foot. And he's like, my foot is in the limelight. My foot has always wanted to be a celebrity. And like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like a stupid throwaway thing. But
no, that's so great for a 12-year-old though. That's perfect.
Just his foot just sticking out and he's telling jokes. But that guy,
he was great. Yeah.
Incredible. I feel so lucky to have seen him.
That's amazing. Yeah. I was going to say, I feel like you did tell me at some point you saw Mitch Hedberg for some reason.
I've seen Dave Attell a million times, Joe Rogan. not really a fan, but I saw him. Joey Diaz, Jim Norton, Tom Segura, Duncan Trussell, Tony Hinchcliffe, Louis C.K. I've seen twice.
Wow.
But yeah, not much compares to that guy Sean Gardini the other night. He was hilarious.
Sean was very good.
Sean Gardini, check him out. Very funny, dude.
I don't know. Does he have? You were showing me another pod that he's on where he talks a little more.
He's on a bunch. I can't wait to dig into him. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of things he's made appearance. I think he's had a podcast of his own as well. So
yeah, he's a funny guy.
Very funny, but we love comedy here.
Barreled.
We love barreled. We love comedy. Where's this guy?
He gave me a little purr.
What do you want? You want to say hello?
Did you see that Hyundai got caught using child labor in Alabama this week?
Like Hyundai cars?
Yes.
In Alabama?
In Alabama, America, yeah. Child labor. I don't think so. It's obviously not them. They own a factory, and it's not a Hyundai factory. It's a factory that like stamps steel and different shit. So like for your radiator cover, whatever you might need for your catalytic
They
converter.
got kids under 18 working?
Yeah, well, even under legal working age and working way past like OSHA regulations and shit. But
it's insane.
Yeah, and they're not. I don't know how many white kids are there. It's mostly like South American kids. It's funny because if there was one white kid, he would be on the front of Time magazine, like the face of child labor in America. But
with
it's
like a little dirt smeared on his face.
He's filming TikToks from in the factory. He's like stamping a bumper and then shuffling away. Yeah, dude, they're mostly migrant workers, but you know. Trump,
still, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
Trump warned us about this, though. He said the migrant caravan was coming, and now they're here to take our jobs. They're all 12 years old. They're here to take our jobs.
Hire an adult migrant worker. What do you?
I think that's what it was. I think maybe like other people like subletted their jobs to children or whatever, you know, but still, it's just wild. Where is the regulation? Like how, like who was there not to step in and be like, this is not okay.
Hyundai's like, we did not know they had mustaches and stuff and they look old.
They're 12. All these 12-year-old Guatemalan kids have mustaches.
We cannot tell. We plead the Yeah, I don't know.
They just came in saying, Sonata, Tucson. They said, you want to build one? Go ahead, bud.
Elantra.
Turns out that's his sister. He said, you got to let us go.
Yeah, my sister's name's Elantra.
Oh, God.
Fuck.
We mentioned a few weeks ago about Five Guys eating the fries at Five Guys, how you take if you ever eaten at Five Guys, they overload the bag with fries. So you get a cup of fries. And
full, the bag's full.
So and then they have a special tray to the side, a little steel tray to the side of the fries that they fill with an additional serving of fries. Just pour into your bag haphazardly, purposefully to get the grease on the sides of the bag and
make it look good.
Yeah, John Rob, when we were kids, used to always say this to us: if you can see it through the bag, you know it's going to be good. And
that's so sick.
Man, it's a good sentiment.
And he taught me Five Guys I first had down in Delaware visiting John and Tyler back in the day at Yoyo Contest.
Probably like 2006.
Yep. And there was one right next to Mitchell's Toy Store.
Like 5 stores down.
In the same strip mall. And John would be like, so here's what you do to eat the fries. You don't, because you can't take the cup out and then like pick the fries out. You just take the whole bag and just rip it at the halfway point. And then you just have a beautiful like open bag of fries to just reach in and grab. No problem. Your hand's not getting all greasy. And to this day, every time I go to Five Guys, I just think of John Rob every time.
Yeah.
He'll forever be like linked to Five Guys for me, which is hilarious. But
I feel like he just did that one day too, and that might have been like a thing.
It's just like, this is what you do.
Yeah, like.
But he told it to me like, this is what you fucking do, or you look like a dumbass. So like, dude,
you look like a dumbass.
So I felt like I had to do it.
Like we were in blood territory, and you were wearing a blue rag, and he's like, "Yo, bro, you can't wear that around here." Like,
yeah, because I had never been to Five Guys, but god damn, that's a good burger. Yeah. Even though it's a $20 burger now, basically. Which is a shame, but it used to be literally it sounded like an old boomer, but like it was like $5.99 for the burger.
My grandparents and I ordered Chipotle last night, and it was like $36 for all
Everything
three of us.
Is insane. Yeah,
and I just got a burrito, and they both got steak bowls. No one got like triple meat or anything crazy. No one else got drinks or chips or anything.
$12-14 for a steak bowl.
I was like, we could buy like 4 pounds of filet mignon and a bag of rice and beans, and we could all eat basically what we're gonna get from Chipotle, just a little bit nicer.
It's all supply chain issues. We're gonna raise prices by $10 and whatever. Everything's so expensive.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Obama.
Joe Biden and Obama. I thought that the Obama portrait was already done. I haven't seen the new one, I guess, but
Is there a new one?
I don't know.
I saw they
I saw it
unveiled
was
it.
at the White House this week.
Yeah, I saw he was too, and I think it's that one where it's all flowery and beautiful.
Yeah.
That thing is sick.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about if you cut the bag off potato chips. You ever do that?
Cut the bag open.
No, well, obviously you cut it open at the top or you pull the two halves apart. But like, say you eat it all the way down, it's below like 40% full or whatever. You're not reaching all the way down and getting your hand all greasy. You cutting it off. What's the move? You cutting it off? You a cutter? You self-mutilating the Lays?
Cut. No, I'm not cut.
No.
I'm uncut. But
my chips, my
I'm
dick.
very anti circumcision.
I got an uncircumcised
I'm
bag over
openly
here.
anti-circumcision, but
It's such an interesting thing in our generation.
I'm not gonna like go protest about it.
No, but like
I do think it's fucking weird.
It is very weird.
It's like a weird archaic religious thing that
Yeah.
like has no health benefits. It's just like odd, but you know, that's just me. I don't want to start an argument. I don't know.
We love you whether you're circumcised,
Absolutely.
uncircumcised.
I'm not. I'm just. That's just me.
All of our brethren. I ask
Beautiful.
every woman I sleep with just what their preference is too, and they all tell me they
And
don't
I
care
either say, yeah.
because not that it doesn't have anything to do
Well,
with
if
me.
you're
I'm
circumcised, you're lucky because you can get a little fake foreskin and just like put it on there.
What? I can get a foreskin
Yeah, You
helmet?
could just put a foreskin helmet on
A
there.
foreskin merkin?
You just a little bit of super glue, snap it on, and then when you're done, you have to put like you have to like, you know.
I don't know if I
Break
want
this-
to glue anything on
Yeah,
my
it's
dick.
a lot, but it's worth it if the girl is only into foreskins only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's
One time when I was younger, I sent a girl a picture of my wiener with a headphone jack in it.
Ooh.
Not like
What's that called?
Sounding.
Sounding. Yeah, that's
I'm not
hilarious.
into that, but like it was just a funny
Sounding
thing
with,
she asked me to do.
It's funny, doubly funny because sounding and it's a headphone jack.
Yeah. Oh man, that's I didn't even think about that. That's so,
It's so good.
funnier though.
Yeah.
Imagine that bit. You just walk in on your kid and he has a headphone jack plugged into his dick and he's like, "Why won't it work?
He's
Ah, my
listening.
dick,
It's
why
not-
won't
I
it
can't
work?
hear
Ah, my
anything.
dick."
I want to talk to
Just
him.
yelling into his dick. Ah, come on, play Metallica, goddammit. Come on, run it up the hill. Run it up the hill.
Oh god.
So you're not cutting the chips? I didn't even think about
I'll do
how
that
this
in
would
certain
go.
cases.
If it's a really
if
good
it's a
chip.
really greasy chip, or if I really want to eat all the
Greasy
way.
chip. What kind of chips are you eating that they're that greasy?
Some are greasier than others for sure. I don't know.
I'm
Like a
only
Dorito's
really-
not very greasy,
Yeah.
whereas like a Lay's is very
Oh,
greasy.
yeah, Lay's is awful.
Where like the side of the
Lay's is
bag
a
is
D
like
tier
coated.
chip.
It's so bad. I will not eat fucking Lay's. I'll eat baked Lay's though. I like baked. Do you like baked?
If they're like at someone's house that's fat and they don't have fried food.
Fuck with a baked Lay. I like a baked Lay with a sandwich with a Jersey Mike. But
I like
yeah,
those-
I've cut the bag. I've been known to cut the bag
cut the
for
bag.
sure. That's this interesting thing to think about.
That's a dance. You know what style of music's gonna come back really popular soon? That juke. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's from
I don't think
Chicago,
so.
I think.
Juke.
It's like I can't even like emulate the sound, but they just say the same word over and over again. Like cut the bag would be one. They'd be like, and someone would be like, cut the bag, cut the bag, cut the bag.
So it's
cut
like
the
a
bag, cut
techno
the bag.
form of like housey.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and then someone will just dance like this.
That'd be sick.
Playing patty cake over their leg.
I'm into it.
Yeah, but that
That
sounds
will
like
come
a
back
juke sound.
because yeah, like
It's going to. It's in the process right now. I've
I
already
trust
seen-
you because you are a tastemaker. You could be an A&R guy. Like literally you could be an A&R guy because this guy told me about Lil Nas X 3 or 4 months before.
Was it like December of 20?
He's like, check this out. This is like a really weird country fusion rap song I found. And he plays me Old Town Road. And I'm like, I was into it immediately. I followed him. He had like 2,500 followers, Lil Nas X. He
Isn't
had
that so fun? He's literally one of the
And
biggest pop
literally
stars in
a
the
couple
world.
months later, no, he has the biggest song in the history of the world. Old Town
I
Road
know.
is the biggest selling song of all time.
It's bigger than Candle in the Wind.
And you were just
RIP,
like, check
Princess
this shit
Diana.
out. So I trust you with music stuff. So Juke is coming back very soon. So Juke
I was-
artists out there, or musicians in general, start juking, start playing juke.
All I was just thinking about was Lil Nas X. Did I ever tell you the story of when I was playing it? That was
insane to me. I'll never forget.
Like a week after I sent it to you, I was playing it for Sid in a car in New York at this little unparalleled pop-up contest they were having.
Yeah.
And it's like Sid and Yuki was in town from Japan. Yuki, I forget his last name on Unparalleled. But we were all like smoking in my car and like Yuki's hanging out with us. And I'm like, oh man, you know, if you win Worlds, you got to eat ass, right? You're going to win. We just started talking about Worlds because like it was going to be in America that year. I'm like, oh, you coming? And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, you could win this year. Like you're really good. You got third last year, whatever. He's like, oh, I'm going to practice really hard and try. And I'm like, oh man, you know, if you win, you got to eat ass though, right? And he's like, what do you mean? And I like translated it for him in Japanese on my phone. It was hilarious.
Damn. I'm sure you love that.
But I played it off for them in the phone. And do you remember the video? It was like, was it like Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, it was all like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, just him playing Red Dead Redemption or something. And
I remember I didn't know what he was saying. I don't remember what I thought he was saying. Times. So good though. But
I played it for all of them too. And I'm like, I feel like this could be funny, like popular in a funny way, how like Weird Al is popular. And they're like, oh yeah, like this is a funny song. Cool. Like Sid like was already up on it too. Sid had like heard of it through the grapevine. Yeah. And he's like, dude, I think this could be like a big fucking
I showed deal. A couple kids too who were just like, I really love this. Just like I did. And I was like, yeah, it's good. And then literally, so I got to be like the introducer to a bunch of other kids too.
That's so like, funny. And to them, you're probably like a god. They're just like, how did you know? I told everyone.
That? I'm like, my fucking friend just showed me this shit. It's so funny though. I can't believe that shit happened.
I forget how I even found out about it. Like, I think I just randomly came across Twitter. Like it was in my recommended or something. Like, yeah,
it's insane, dude. Absolutely insane. What else you got?
The fucking queen died this week. R.I.P. Dead bitch.
Yeah, fucking burn in hell, honestly. Pedophile protector.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of jokes for that one.
It's no jokes, just
other than I've watched a ton of videos this week.
Historically, I'm sure she is important, but she's just not.
I can will anyone's death. So when I emceed the New York State Yo-Yo contest last time, I made a joke toward the audience of who they thought the next celebrity that was going to die was, and the next day Juice WRLD died. So
have you ever? Oh shit! Have you ever heard of the Doug Stanhope has a celebrity death pool website? DSCDP.com. So you can sign up and actually bet real money, and you pick like 10 people who you think are going to die and rate them on like most likely to die. It's kind of fucked up, but it's an actual death pool.
Now, I remember when Amy Winehouse was going through her shit, and that was kind of like a poppin' thing too in countries where online gambling has been popular for a minute.
Yeah, you can like just bet on who's going to die.
Yeah, I've watched a crazy amount of videos this week on inbred kings and queens though. Because like every royal monarch, like they only fuck their brothers and sisters because they're trying to keep all the money vertically integrated. And or in this case, I don't know, is it like a wreath? It's not like a family tree. It's like a
it's so weird. I was looking at it last night. It's very weird. Literally like two people down the line, it's like a little baby child, like a little kid. So if like this dude Charles dies and then the other guy dies, there's like a little tiny kid that's
none of the kids take over after this, or they're like
no, a kid that it's Charles and then someone
like
else.
Sons, Princess Diana's sons. No, or are they just princes?
No, I don't think they get anything. It's just other kids.
Damn it.
Yeah. They're like little ass kids though, so they're gonna pop up just like the queen because she became queen like super young too.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be fucking weird.
But R.I.P. Princess Diana.
For all the flaws the United States had, like at least we don't have that. You know what I mean?
She was gonna give birth to a mixed race child, and the queen killed her.
Yeah.
Facts, not allegedly.
No.
Did you see that they added an autistic train to the cast of Thomas the Tank Engine this week?
Was that just this week? I feel like that happened.
Do you think that they have the most inclusive cast of all time?
I don't know.
They have a Jewish train too that's carrying all the money.
No. Autistic train is good, but aren't all trains autistic? I don't know.
I mean, most men that play with trains are autistic. Yes,
exactly. Most train fans.
What position do you think this train holds in the lineage of train positions? Because there's, you could be the conductor, you could be
The caboose.
you could be the coal car. There's several trains that play integral roles of the train running, though. Conductor being one of them, which that's not it. But
That's not a train. That's
yeah,
a guy.
what responsibility do you think they gave the autistic train?
He's probably like a safety supervisor train.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, he's the brake car.
There you go.
But
That's like along the same
flip,
lines.
but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that movie Flight with Denzel Washington?
Aw, he's got an important job. I like that. The what? The flight?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
It's a movie where Denzel Washington plays a pilot, but he like is really reckless. He's like doing drugs and drinking and like banging all the
I've heard of it.
stewardess and
I've heard
stuff.
of it.
He like gets on the flight and immediately
He's
like
super
just
wasted,
shoots 2 vodkas and then just drives the plane. But imagine if he was autistic.
Autism power, dude. I'm all about it.
What do you think though? I mean, you think he would be able to drive the plane upside down?
I have no idea.
They're like, he's not drunk. He does this all the time.
Yeah, he might be like super skilled.
He's an expert.
It's more
pilot.
of a super. I mean, it's.
Like,
I'm
he actually assassinated Osama bin Laden, but we let him fly the plane.
brake car.
Yeah, they it's voiced by an autistic kid too.
That's good. That's great. Yeah. I'm all for it.
But they lie about him in the BBC article. This quote is a direct quote from the BBC article. It says, Bruno's a funny, smart character, and he's very relaxed. He can get very overwhelmed easily, and he can get worried, and he uses comedy to get past these situations.
Just like me. That's perfect.
Yeah, I guess we're all high-functioning tids, too.
I am, dude, for sure. But, hey, I'm all for representation.
That's true. So I was telling you earlier about how I discovered this week that Blinded by the Light is a Bruce Springsteen song. Yes. I guess you already knew that, though. Blinded by the light.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Revved up like a douche. In the middle of like the night. A douche. He doesn't say that. He says revved up like a deuce or something along those lines. I don't know.
I think he made that joke last episode.
But yeah, one of the lyrics in that song is about silicone sisters, which is just... Did
you just kick me?
They're talking about... Oh, sure. They're talking about boob jobs in the song, and it's really interesting to me because it's like... The song is originally from a Bruce Springsteen album in the 70s. And It's like, damn, they had boob jobs 50 years ago in the 70s. And it's like, imagine at the time, it's like an experimental surgery and they're like trying to convince a woman to get a boob job, you know? And like, how many years of negging would you have to do before you convince a woman to undertake exploratory surgery?
It'd probably be a lot like the early silicone recess mods of yo-yoing. Pretty sloppy.
Takeshi sides your pussy.
They fall out.
They fall out
after you play with them for a while.
These ones feel good. Loose. I don't know. They're just jiggling everywhere. They're falling out of them.
They snag easily.
Oh my god.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah, I keep burning my arms doing dabs. Because I live with my grandparents.
You're an addict.
I'm a fucking loser. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
But I'm doing dabs and I'm like sitting on the ground doing them and I'll put like the torch laying down and then it'll like topple over and then land on me somewhere.
Ouch.
And like this summer, it only like landed on my leg once or twice. So it's like not a huge, it was pretty bad burns, but like, you know, no kids are like, how'd you get that burn? Like no kids are really asking any questions, but like I'm starting to get a couple of my arms and now it just looks like I'm a legit drug addict, not just a recreational drug enthusiast.
Right. Hate to break it to you, this is high CBD, low THC.
Oh man, no.
You have to rip harder than that.
Oh, I see you in Dragons now. Oh my god. No, I'm just kidding. Sponsor the pod, Rick Wyatt.
Yeah.
Send us some CBD. No, I'm just kidding.
We need at least free yo-yo string or
you gotta monetize.
Just harping on that. All I want is free yo-yo string, dude.
That's all I wanted when I got sponsored too is free yo-yo. I'm like, that's the dream. If I can just get free yo-yo
anyone out
string.
there can help me. Just I don't need much. I need like 100 strings a year. Not
100
even.
a year.
Like, just give me 100 a year.
I use the same string for a week, maybe 10 days at a time.
I will promote it so hard.
I should have known this was going to be a CBD
You
sitch.
should have known. It's not. No, it has.
Should have known.
It has THC. A lot. Like a good amount. Just not like super high. You know what I mean? It's like 11% instead of 25%.
I need at least 300 milligrams a day.
I understand.
Personally.
It might take the edge off though.
I'm edging all the time. Me and Evan, we're just the edge bros.
I never thought about
I'm
that.
just bricked up
The
edging
edge.
all the time.
The edging.
I love to edge and then play Evan's music. And then
You should make the edge lord.
I lay there and edge and just think about Evan. And I watched him freestyle to Freebird.
I did love that. I love that freestyle.
I
like
hold a
Freebird.
CBD vape in my hand and then just think about all of Leonard Skinner dying in a plane crash.
No.
And then that's what, takes
what
me
takes
over
you
the
over the
edge.
edge, yeah.
Just
No, Leonard Skinner rocks, bro. God damn, they're so good. That's gonna be our outro music.
Southern Man.
Got Boz Skaggs coming in.
Southern Man, don't need him around in her.
Southern Man is Neil Young.
No, but they have that lyric in Sweet Home Alabama where they diss him though.
Exactly. They get him
Saying,
good.
fuck you, Neil Young.
Is Neil Young's music still off Spotify or did he finally break down?
I don't know. I was watching
That's
a
absurd.
video the other day about how he sold all of his music recently. Did you know that?
No.
He sold most of his catalog for like $100 million.
He's back on Spotify, so that makes sense.
Because he doesn't own his music. That's why.
Motherfucker.
What's his monthly listener count?
You
3 million?
4 million.
4 million.
How dare you sell your catalog, Neil? I mean,
For $100 million. Like, it's wild.
I mean, it makes sense, but
Bruce Springsteen, I think I got 400 million or 300 million. They're all selling it. Like,
an investment firm has bought 50% of the rights to all Neil Young songs.
I don't know
They
about.
spent 150 million on 1,180 songs.
Wow. Neil Young has a pretty expansive discography. But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
huge.
Most companies that are buying all the discographies are Chinese companies, which I think it's going to be
Hypnosis
like.
Songs Fund. So let's see if
I'm
they're
pretty
Chinese.
sure that's a Chinese company. I'm almost
Probably.
positive. I looked it up a few weeks ago because I have some friends that work
My
at
first
labels.
concert ever was Neil Young. My first concert
funny.
of my life. And Wilco opened, like before Wilco was a thing. Nope, British. They're British. I love Neil Young. I'm protective of him.
God damn it.
Are you shaking your phone?
Yeah.
Does that do something?
Yeah. Like if you fuck up.
Whoa,
So like, let's say you want to like undo it.
that's a cool picture.
Yeah. It's a secret project I'm working on for a full length Yoyo video.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your repeater one?
No, this is like, I want to make like a skateboard type Yoyo video, like Save Death kind of. But I want to call it Rudy. So it's like an androgynous name. And it's like short for rude boy. You know what I mean?
This is who's in it.
So Abby, this like girl yo-yo from Baltimore. I think
Yeah.
Colin, and then Blaze, Kira, Coffin. You can get a part if you want.
Get me in there. What the hell are you doing? Put my name with a question mark.
I want to commit.
Maybe.
fully.
No, I want to.
I'm edging right now, so
I'll
I'm
do it,
just a
dude.
little
Let
excited.
me in there, yeah.
I have all these notes because I'm making a spec sheet that I have music. Like I'm trying to
so
make
down.
it good for everyone. But yeah, I'm gonna make like a logo with Icarus because you know
Wait,
Icarus.
we have to go to Toronto?
no.
Okay, I'm not allowed in Canada.
Cut that clip. Cut that. I'll leave it.
Nah, it's fine.
No, I mean like cut it as we'll use it on the trailer. Jake banned in Canada.
Yeah. I'm too good at yo-yoing.
I was banned in Canada till they legalized weed.
It's nothing bad. It's not anything bad.
No, I know.
It's no DUI.
I'm
no
pretty
fine.
sure CJ got denied, or he got held for additional questioning at the border because him and I got like a weed charge together on a yo-yo tour a long time ago.
They're sticklers up there.
Yeah. When I was on that Birdhouse tour, doing yo-yo stuff, like a bunch of skateboarders that had trespassing violations couldn't get in.
Exactly. It's
So
like the
wild.
littlest little thing.
No, there's this
Same with Japan.
shitty movie called Rudy, like an American sports movie.
Yeah.
That premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, and a lot of Jamaican people live in Toronto, which is where like Rude Boy comes from.
Right.
I don't know. I'm just looking for like ways that it all parallels. You know what I mean? What?
Rude.
Yeah.
I like the mic stands.
Yeah, it's nice, right? I kind of regret holding mine up. But yeah, I want to call it, or I want to use Icarus as like the logo kind of, because I feel like so many people treat Yoyo as like this, like they think that they're holier than thou. And it's like, just because they're really good at Yoyo, you know what I mean? And then like they fly too close to the sun, so to speak. And then, I don't know. I'm trying.
It can happen. Yeah.
It's funny that I'm taking it so serious. Like,
I like it.
like it's a tropes about yo-yo that it's like you shouldn't take it too seriously, but I'm gonna think of 1,000,001 metaphors.
That's funny. No, that's very funny. But yeah, some people do fly too close to this. They get a little too. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
people fall off frequently, and it's a shame. We're just a band of misfits, you know?
but it's a cool idea. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think the Bernstein Bears are black?
No, they're Jewish.
What? No, they're bears. What? They're never Jewish. They had Christmas.
Did they?
I'm
Isn't
sure.
Berenstein.
Yeah, I never thought of that, but that's a great point.
That's what I'm saying.
They're Jewish, right? Jewish bears.
It's like Berenstein.
They probably had books. I don't think they had books about Hanukkah. I definitely remember reading Bernstein Bear books about
Yeah,
Christmas.
they probably got
but
Christmas. Well, you know, they were open-minded.
gotta consult my notes. Son of a bitch.
I'm all out of fucking topics. I try to think all week, and it's harder than you think to think of.
Oh,
You're good at it, though.
did you hear my knee?
Yeah, it
awful.
cracked. Is that from your injury when you fell out of my house?
No,
I hope
my
not.
knee's done that for
Okay,
like
good.
10 years.
I don't want to like permanently cripple you.
No, that'd be awful. Oh shit, I think I'm out of notes too.
Damn.
Yeah, I made a lot of notes about the autistic Thomas the Train and all the child labor in Alabama.
Oh, there's some local, you know, Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Apparently he just got caught. Well, he didn't get caught, but like
And a massage parlor.
years ago, I wish. Years ago, he tortured dogs, dude.
What? What did he do?
In 2004, complaints about Dr.
That's not years ago. That's pretty. That's a 21st century.
It's a while ago.
It is 20 years ago. Yeah, you're right.
Dr. Oz's dog experiments were cited in a report from internal investigation into allegations of poor animal care. The dogs were performed without a humane endpoint. The screams of these puppies could be heard through closed doors. All of these puppies lying in plastic garbage bag were killed in the presence of their litter mates. It was some sort of experiment he was involved in, and he killed dogs by painful cardiac injection. And it happened obviously a long time ago, but it's just popping up today on Twitter. Like people are spreading it. So go John Fetterman. Fuck Dr. Oz.
But did we learn anything from these experiments? Does the expose cover any of that? Did it cover? I'm just kidding.
Trying to
Obviously.
figure out how ticklish a puppy is.
You know, when Michael Vick was doing his experiments on
His
dogs,
experiments,
these were,
exactly.
We were learning some new printing techniques and dog fighting magazines. But what are these dogs dying for, Dr. Oz? Huh?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't have enough information but
No,
fuck
that's
that guy.
abhorrent. That's awful.
It's like he's literally torturing puppies now. It's like, do we need any more reason to just vote for Fetterman? He's like, it seems like
I wonder how that's what Republicans will say. They'll be like, well, what were the outcome of these studies?
right.
How many child's
He's a
lives were
doctor.
saved? Did we develop a new vaccine out of these? I'm sure Democrats would like that if we developed a new vaccine out of torturing puppies.
You can twist anything. It's so fucking crazy.
What if your
What a
son
sick world.
wasn't allergic to peanuts anymore, but all you had to do was jerk off a dog?
It's a sick, sad world we live in. But
Maybe that's what he was doing, you know? He was trying to figure out.
how long you can red rocket the dog before it
I was going to say how we used horseshoe crab blood to treat cancer, but
Horseshoe crab, that'd be sick.
leukemia or something. Yeah. It's like very expensive. At one time, it was like one of the most expensive.
Horseshoe crabs have blood?
Yeah.
I thought they were just like a hard shell creature.
They're so wild.
I just see them dead all the time.
Yeah.
I wonder, yeah.
When I was a kid, they were like everywhere. It was
rarely
crazy.
see them alive.
Some people eat them.
That's insane.
Yeah.
They're probably good. It probably tastes like other
I
crab.
don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
God, I can't imagine what those fucking things eat.
I have people out front of my house. I have a creek out front who like
They live in the
illegally
creek?
fish for the carp. It's really annoying because I like the carp. Like they're my friend. Like I like to watch them swim and stuff. And like these people come and illegally fish for the carp. It's pretty
You
annoying.
feed them goldfish crackers. and
No,
you're
they
like,
just
this
literally
is-
take a big net and like try to scoop them up. And I'm like, that's not fishing.
I meant you.
know?
I was saying you go.
Oh,
out there
yeah,
and feed
yeah.
'em goldfish.
Yeah. I just watch them, dude. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They have plenty of food on their own. They're eating all the time. But bums me
Fucking-
out.
That sucks.
Don't fuck
That's
with, don't poach fish, you weirdos.
Should call the police and record it. We should
I can't
call the police for the next podcast.
Yeah. Our guest this week is 911. Hello.
Call the police on
There's
Barrel.
guys outside carp fishing
Yeah.
with a net.
with a net.
Do you have anything to say about Dr. Oz?
Well, the net could have a gun on it, sir. So you never know.
Just keep calling 911 over and over again and just trying to get them to be again.
My cat scratched me. I don't know what to do.
What do you think about the autistic train? Just try to get him to answer questions.
What do you think about it?
Fuck. I gotta pee.
All right. I think that's a good place to
I
wrap
think
it
that's
then.
a good one.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you
right.
guys.
Love y'all.